Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a Tier 8 game in my Tier 6 Hatsuharu. Going over the matchmaking, have an enemy Graf Zeppelin. Potentially Radar Edinburgh. It's most likely Smoke since this is random. No other potential radar ships. DD-wise, Benson, Shiratsuyu, and Gallant. The map is north. It is standard battle. And that is number one, singing in the background. Yes, my name is Dada. So, like most games, start out, let the team know what my general intent is, and in this case, there's no caps to take or anything like that. I'm pushing forward and I'm going to scout the western flank of the map, see what's out here, see what kind of trouble I can stir up, and, go from there. Haven't played a game in the Hatsuharu in a while. Those of you that have watched my channel for a while have probably know that she's one of my favorite destroyers in the game. Even loved her when she was a tier 7. Now that she's a tier 6, she's absolutely lethal. And I'm going to walk you through how to play a bottom tier CV match. And a lot of it doesn't really change. Here it's... I know I've already got, with my CV spotting where I pinged, I already know that I've got a bunch of battleships headed to this flank along with the New Orleans and the Graf Zeppelin. So that tells me that I need to be a little careful about where I am, how deep I'm getting. And I am getting deep right now. If you're wondering why I torp way the hell out there, I'm anticipating cruiser basically spotted. Once battleships start popping up, he's going to turn and try to run to the nearest cover. So I want to get these torpedoes well out in front of him. They're not nearly as fast as the torpedo options that you have at tier 10. However, with the double triples, they do load very quickly. This is a 17-point captain. Looking to finish off a 19-point captain on this soon. Actually, it's 18. Just haven't assigned that. Holding off, the only thing it doesn't have is adrenaline rush. So here I'm cycling through target options, and I'm going to settle on the Bayern. I'm doing that because Bismarck most likely is going to have hydro running. And I want to try to be able to torp targets that are actually going to be torpable. Now, I have made the mistake of spotting the enemy CV. That means my team is going to lose their mind and try to rush in. So, I'm actually going to kite back. I know most likely the CV is going to send planes looking for me, but I'm going to kite back mainly because it never goes good when the team sees a CV. If you notice, they're doing nothing but shooting at the CV. Now, CV sends torpedo planes at me. I go on ahead, I just drop smoke. Now, I do end up landing a torp on the Bismarck, and I get a lucky one-hit fire on the Bayern. But I'm going to use this this minute here to try to get some fires on stuff that I can see, stuff my team is self-spotting. The issue that I'm trying to shake some of these guys up because my battleships are not in a good position. They're basically 4v2, 4v3 with me here. So I'm seeing if I can get anybody to, give up broadsides or something like that to try to give my battleships an advantage. Graf Zeppelin gets spotted, and I don't think that my Bismarck's going to live long here. I do have torpedoes out on the Bayern. Hoping that maybe I can try to make something of this Bismarck's sacrifice. I see the double fours from the Shiratsuyu right here, so just gonna stop and let them go by. And then the Gallant pops up. Now the Gallant has already shot the middle and he's already pushed through. So that's gonna tell me I need to start closing down and get back here to get ready to defend base. Kind of hoping somebody punishes the New Orleans. It's a really squishy ship that really shouldn't live that long with all of everything being thrown around right now at it. I'm gonna throw these Torps out on these DDs. Maybe I get lucky and hit one of them. Maybe not. You never know. But Gallant's turning into me, and I am going to start a kiting fight. There he goes. He's got me detected. Now, ideally, I would have my smoke available. I don't. But I'm just going to try to make myself hard to hit. This is a 2v1, so I'm expecting to lose a bit of HP here. Trying to get the guns set because I'm not landing shots like I normally do. There's a decent hit. And just this little zigzag slow wiggle that I do with the gun reload, it really does make you difficult to shoot. Gallant's already lost a quarter of his HP. He's kiting out. Shiratsuyu's coming in. Now this boat it's a tier higher than me. It's got the roughly the same guns that I do. I got to be careful with the Shiratsuyu. It would be easy, and you can see this guy he's landing hits. So I'm just trying to bait this guy because he is too close to my Gneisenau. So I want him to try to expose himself in that situation. You see, he already took a pretty good hit, and at this point, I'm just going to disengage. I've knocked both of those destroyers down to roughly my level of HP, and I know it's still 2 destroyers. I know I'm still going to have to fight them smart, but I need to figure out a way to zone these guys out of my cap, because if you look at my team, look where they're pointed. Almost all of them are going to be storming the 7-8 line here shortly. That's going to leave my base wide open to any push through here. So I have the sneaking suspicion I outspot the Shiratsuyu. He's spotted there by the planes. Now I'm going to get up here and try to get another trade on him. I do have my smoke. Unfortunately, my shooting's crap. He does a good job dodging that shot. We both hit each other pretty good, but I have just an extra second of vision on him. Get a decent hit there. He's drifting forward. I get another 2 shell hits on him there, and that's really helping me get an HP advantage on him. Look, I'm at 6k now. He's at 4. So I will hand it to this Shira. He is doing an excellent job juking shells. That's a bridge too far trying to back up in your smoke like that. It is an issue though that he does have a spotter, so I do need to kite out here. And I'm just going to make myself hard to hit. They are going to make up some ground here. And just, this evasion right here really did help me where they should have been able to make up ground against me right there. Um, I was able to not lose too much HP, but it's getting touch and go because that Gallant's pretty healthy. The Shira, he's probably a little bit less HP than me at this point, and the way he's playing makes me think that he's a decent player as far as knowing how to fight other destroyers. So, just gonna have to be on my toes. Now, I'm gonna pause it here because what I'm doing, I'm patterning these guys. This guy, I've marked as a player that I'm gonna have to be on my toes about. He's juking shells. He's playing pretty smart, and it has cost me a bit of HP. He's done most of the damage to me. This Gallant, he's a potato. He's been driving around just nonstop shooting, and nobody's really been shooting at him other than me. Um, but the way that he's playing makes me think that I can ambush this guy. So, yes, I'm low, but I'm gonna be having a smoke soon, and when you saw me look at him, I'm setting up a date right now in my head with this Gallant, and I wanna I wanna be able to deal with that. But at this point, I need to get through this Shira first to be able to do that. So at this point, I'm gonna close the distance. Um, I know that this Shira's, and that was a really critical hit right there. I saw how low he got. He's turning into me. I know contact's coming. You see me turning? Let's shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Good chunk. Slamming on the brakes, expecting him to shoot. Perfect. I see Bayern turning out. I'm throwing some torps out in the direction of his turn. And then I'm just getting moving and kiting out. I'm looking at the Baron's guns. I don't want him to be able to shoot me. I drop off, and then I slow up just to make sure that I don't, randomly get shot at by somebody that's just shooting at my indicator. Now, at this point, Shira's dead. The cap's immediately out of trouble, and I'm going to slip back in here, and I'm going to set up my ambush on the Gallant. And I'm looking, and I'm just being patient right now. There's nothing else inside my gun range right now. I'm gonna smoke up, and I'm gonna let that smoke bloom. CV's coming in, he's smoking up. That's not ideal. My shooting this game's been atrocious. Haven't been playing too much Japanese destroyers, so my aim's definitely rusty looking at this. Oh, hey, you're alright. You're alright. But my CV's doing a good job keeping this guy lit. And at this point, this Gallant's in trouble. He's got no engine. He's outside of his smoke. My CV is able to finish him off. And, that engagement really didn't cost us anything. And that's why I was looking at the Gallant that way. Just somebody that you were going to be able to catch out just because, the way he was playing, it just didn't make any sense other than, this guy doesn't really know what he's doing. So at this point, it's just a big stern chase. we've managed to break the push on the west, and so my plan is, I know I'm never going to be able to catch up to the Ganiza now. I am looking for damage. This is it's a decent game, but you always want to try to make it a little better, a little something. And I don't usually hunt CVs, but I don't really see anything else for me to hunt, so my RPF's on him, and I'm gonna go CV hunting. Now, for brevity's sake, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. So, just running out there fast as I can. Here we go. I find the CV. Now, even here, I'm looking at the CV and I'm trying to judge. Is this guy, gonna try to juke me? Is he gonna try to whatever? I kind of figure I'm gonna have to gun this guy down. So I'm just gonna wait till I get into torpedo range. I'm gonna throw my torpedoes just in case he decides he's gonna sit still. I see the dive bombers coming in. That means that most likely a CV player is going to be focused on just flying his planes. That means maybe my torpedoes have a shot. I do load AP here. I haven't really got to shoot at a Graf Zeppelin all that often. So just kind of exploring, what does what. Notice the AP does some pretty good pins there. I start to get a bounce. Now, he's getting ready to drop me. I'm turning broadside to the bombers. Now, throwing some HE back out there because it's starting to angle, and then, well, shit, it's all shatters. So that's telling me, the plating on this ship, it's basically proof to my HE. So that's information in the future. But Graf Zeppelin didn't move, and that was a nice, clean dev strike on a CV. Always feels very nice as a destroyer player to get that, and that turned my game from a decent game to a game that was definitely a little something something. 106K, 7 torpedo hits, 61 shell hits. Obviously, I think my best work this game was trying to block and delay the Shiratsuyu and the Gallant, and from being able to cap and being able to harass and potentially destroy my allies. The CV damage, that was just good times. The real work was on definitely the destroyers primarily, and then just harassing a couple battleships. But Shiratsuyu, still a really solid, flexible boat. In this case, I took it up against two DDs that probably shouldn't have expected it to go out the way I did. I just tried to fight that smart kiting, just focus on getting good trades, and as soon as I got into a bad situation, just try to get out as safely as I could, and try to work that HP pool, get the advantage on those destroyers, or catch them in a moment of vulnerability like I did with the Gallant. Again, my shooting this game was atrocious. If I would have actually been on point, I think I would have done a lot more damage to both those DDs. But I've been playing too much Russian, too much US destroyers, and my aim is slipping, and that also tells me as a player I need to, rotate more of my ships through so I kind of brush up my aim on these ships. So if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them below. Hope you guys are having a good night, and I will talk to you later.